Up until this week, we were asking the question, can Bernie Sanders ever hope to catch up to Hillary Clinton? Well, after today, we have to ask a new question. Can Hillary Clinton ever hope to catch up to Bernie Sanders again? Yes, finally.
Damn.
He's not closing in on Hillary. He has blown right past her. In New Hampshire specifically, he's up a number of points. Now, screw just covering the sort of news summaries of this poll, which was done by Franklin Pierce University and the Boston Herald. We're going to show you the actual results, the raw results from the survey. So let's bring up this first one. It's going to show you the change from March to August in the vote choice. And you see there Sanders winning. The most important point, Sanders winning over Clinton right now in New Hampshire, 44 to 37. In just a couple of months, he went from 8% to 44%, swallowing up every bit of the Warren, obviously. They didn't even put Warren in there anymore. He got all of Warren's points, maybe a point from Biden, and he took some from Clinton as well. He took the Cuomo points. Like, he has gobbled it all up, and he has passed her as a result. It's amazing.
He's leading in New Hampshire.
He's leading by 7 points.
No, but here's what people are misunderstanding. In the articles I read about this, they're like, well, Hillary Clinton's still considered the front runner by a landslide, and no one really believes this. No, but you can. It's a poll. I know people that are dismissive of polls, people who don't understand science and polling, right? Polling can be off from time to time, but generally speaking, what they're doing is they're finding a slice that is representative of the electorate in that particular state. So this is actually very real. It's very real, right?
Yeah.
So what happened was they didn't know much about Bernie Sanders and his run. The more information they received, they're like, whoa, that sounds a hell of a lot better than Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Now, it was easier for Bernie Sanders to catch up because he has a position they agree with. They just had to find out about it.
Yes.
It's actually going to be much harder for Hillary Clinton to recapture the lead.
Yeah.
So, God, how wrong has conventional wisdom been throughout this entire process? And we're barely at the beginning. And already the mainstream pundits have been monumentally wrong. I said from the beginning, look, once Trump jumped out to the lead, I was like, that's it. He's going to hold on. He's going to be in the top 4 for a long, long time, right?
I've been predicting he'll be done within a month, and that's not looking like a good prediction.
No, and the reason is the population is angry. You think they want to change in 2008. But man, they are thirsting for change on an even bigger scale now. So on the right, they're desperate and looking for clowns like Trump. But on the left, they say, well, if the one thing we know about Bernie Sanders, and more people are finding out every day, is that guy's not acting, right? That guy has been a progressive for decades and decades.
Yeah.
And you know Hillary Clinton's not going to give you any change. You know it in your bones. Even if you're a Hillary Clinton supporter, you're like, hey, it'd be great to have the first female president. Oh, she was so close last time. The Clintons were good last time. They were. Even you know it in your bones that she's establishment and not going to give you real change. At best, she's going to be Obama light and give you. I mean, I used to say Obama was pocket change. She's going to be loose change, right?
So let's not use the term loose.
Okay. So
we'll get attacked.
Now the pundits will tell you, oh, it's not real. They've been telling you about Bernie Sanders is not real for a long time, right? So trust me, it's real. He's now leading in New Hampshire. It's the first primary. Iowa was the first caucus. New Hampshire's the first primary. You win New Hampshire, you got a whole different ballgame, man. Most people drop out after the first couple of races after Iowa and New Hampshire because it's considered over. I don't know.
There's still a lot of time, and she has a lot of money. She can afford to keep going, like she did with Obama. Like she hung around. She had that alligator blood.
Yeah.
You keep sticking around or whatever. I don't remember rounders. But she could stick around for quite a while. That's entirely possible. And people will say, oh, yeah, the really liberal candidate is getting a lot of support early on. That happens all the time. That doesn't mean, look, what about Howard Dean? Yeah, that's true. Him being ahead of Hillary Clinton does not mean that he's going to win, but it's a hell of a better sign than him being behind Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, and look, this is not, everybody keeps making the mistake on the Republican side thinking that this is a repeat of 2012, so they'll go up and down, up and down. But 2012 was an aberration. I've never seen it go one candidate at a time, each one of them having a lead.
In the GOP, you're saying?
In the GOP side, right? Now, on the Democratic side, they assume that it'll go the same as it happened in 2004, right? Oh, Howard Dean will surge, but then John Kerry, the establishment guy, came in and won the day. But that was a totally different dynamic from over a decade ago, where Democratic voters were still like a little scared, like, do we oppose, the Iraq war? Oh my God, I don't want to be too outside the mainstream.
Yeah.
Now a lot of Democratic voters are like, F that, man. I'm done with this. I hate this, and I want real change. So look, I got my issues with Bernie Sanders because I love the guy, and I think there's no question he's a proven progressive. But you've got to put getting money out of politics as your top priority, and you've got to have a real plan. Not like, oh, yeah, I'd like to do, because then you're not going to get any of those progressive priorities done.
Oh, you should watch the video we did yesterday.
Okay.
He's been very specific, a number of different proposals.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, I'm skeptical. Okay, but what I'm not skeptical about is that this momentum is super real.
Yeah.
Okay.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and he's got the lead now. I don't know how Hillary takes it back. She's going to spend a ton of money trying to take it back. She's certainly not going to do it with a grassroots uprising. There is no grassroots uprising for Hillary Clinton. And at this point, you got to put her on the clock as to, hey, if she's the one losing and it's harder for her to catch up, when does she get out of the race?
Yeah. I mean, it's still entirely possible. This is one poll. It could be an outlier. We've been seeing him catching up over the past few weeks. I do want to really fast look at two other pages from the survey results to see what we can learn. You're seeing there the change in favorability is the blue. Red is the unfavorable. So you see Bernie Sanders as people, they already had a favorable view of him when they knew very little about him. But now that they know a lot about him, it just shoots up there. You see Hillary Clinton loses a bit of her favorability from March to August, and her unfavorability shoots up by 50% during that time. I mean, look, Joe Biden apparently is doing much better, even though he's not technically running. He keeps getting put into these polls, even though he's not actually running. So that's the favorability. But I really like this next one. It's showing why people are supporting the candidates that they are. And you see Clinton blowing Sanders out of the water when it comes to the best chance of getting elected. And in other pages from this survey, it shows that even the people that are voting that want Bernie Sanders are still saying she is going to win, even though there are now more of them than are supporting Clinton. They still think that Clinton's going to win, but that may change over time. But the most important thing is Sanders versus Clinton on supports issues important to you, and they're not being fooled. Like, they know he actually supports the issues that are important to the people in New Hampshire.
Feel the burn, baby. Feel the burn.